Hello YouTube, Megasonic here with another Naruto related video for your pleasure. If you're new here, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. The more you do so, the more I feel willing to do content like this. Anyway, so Naruto has been completed for a while now, so I recently started rewatching the original series, and what I got an idea for this video. So here's my personal ranking of the series arcs by most impactful plot and significance. So anyway, let's get on with the video. So we're starting off with the Evasion arc because the story is epic, however the overall significance is questionable. The story picks up right in the middle of the finals of the Chunin exams, which we find out the Land of Sound and Sand has formed an alliance to take down the Leaf Village. In charge of this attack is none other than the Michael Jackson lookalike Orochimaru. Some significant parts, okay, let's start. Must be the fight between Naruto and Gaara and the fight between the third Hokage and Orochimaru. The reason why these two fights are significant is because the third Hokage fight, we finally get to see the height of his abilities, and I can say I'm impressed. Another reason why it's significant is because due to this fight, we get sort of a semi-introduction to the first and second Hokage, who have been brought back by Orochimaru. Naruto and Gaara's fight is very important because the only people who we have seen ever damaging Gaara is Rock Lee and Sasuke. So seeing Naruto do this as the most damage is overall progress in the series. All I can say is that the fight is massive. There's Jinchuriki fighting, summonings, overall 100 clones. The reason why I say this arc is at the bottom of the list is because I feel like as an individual story, it doesn't have its own identity. The reason why I say this is because of the fact that the story dropped dead in the middle of the Chunin exams, and it was alluded before, so this can be easily mistaken as part of the Chunin exams arc. Anyway, let's go with number 4 on the list. The Search for Tsunade arc is particularly well done. The story follows the events after the Evasion arc where the village is left crippled with no leader, so we get some unexpected visitors. Significant parts, okay, let's start. The individuals we are introduced are two well-known characters of this series, which is Tsunade and Itachi or Uchiha. Itachi was talked about throughout the series until this point. As fans, we were left in the dark until then. Itachi's portrayal as a cold, serious, and dangerous figure accompanied Kisame, which introduces the next villains of the series, the Akatsuki's. Tsunade is also an interesting figure in the story because she's introduced as a powerful medic with a complex past, which she copes with drinking and gambling. And her resolution at the end, as well, assuming her role as the 5th Hokage, is a well-fitting conclusion to the arc. One extra thing we're also introduced to this arc is Naruto's second trademark ability, which is the Rasengan. Reason why it's so significant, because we watched episodes after episode of Naruto working on the jutsu, especially the one that doesn't require hand signs, which was very significant back then. The reason why this is my 4th pick because, well, the fact that we got a lot of story building and world building, there's a lot more meat picking in other arcs, and this arc can be considered its own contained story because it doesn't really reference the other arcs too much. For example, the whole anime literally padded this arc with so many in-between fillers because this arc was not that big to begin with. So this arc focuses on Team 7's embarking on a B-rank mission, which is very high in that case, where they must escort a bridge builder back to the Mist Village. What is this bridge builder building? Obviously a bridge, but the reason why, it has a lot of soul to it. When we're introduced to the village, it and its people are locked down by a greedy crime boss named Gato. Building this bridge means that they can escape the dreadful reality and lead to a better future. Gato knows this, so he sends waves of mercenaries at his disposal at our heroes, and most notable one is Zabuza Momoshi. Okay, so some significant parts. How about this arc in general? We see Team 7 grow and learn from each other. I find this arc interesting because each of them learning to work off to each other, hit their highest potential, is probably one of the best character developments they ever gotten so far in the series. This is seen as another significant part is Team 7 versus Zabuza. Another significant part is the introduction to another villain who is just as iconic as Zabuza, and that is Haku. The chemistry between the two is very interesting. With the list of tragic characters, Haku is probably the best. The last two significant parts have to be Sasuke's presumable death and awakening of the Sharingan, and Naruto's first awakening of the Nine-Tailed Fox. I remember watching it back when I was a young kid and literally thinking, wow, they really killed Sasuke. And so I thought. The scene that follows, however, is really good. Seeing Naruto unlock the Nine-Tails chakra is insane. The animation team knew they had to show this at the best quality as possible, so that's why that is easily ranked as one of my favorite episodes. Just the scene seeing Naruto fight in the smashing mirror acting like a feral animal is really pleasing to the eyes, and seeing what the power can do is very interesting. The one thing I have to point out is the message, which is following your own destiny. Or in Naruto's case, make your own ninja way. The events take place in this arc is not looked back often, but probably because they don't really need to be. Naruto learned from this experience, which can mean that this is what made him the person he is today. This is the reason why he cares about so much people. It's interesting to see a young character learn something from his enemy. So some of you are probably shaking your head, probably thinking how predictable this one is. And some of you probably gonna be mad because this is not number 1. So Sasuke retrieval arc, why is it number 2? Why is it so soon? If the plot is well, it's the conclusion of part 1. This arc takes place after events of Tsunade arc, after the healing of Sasuke. Sasuke is displeased with his progress and feeling that his power isn't at the level it should be. Add insult to injury, Naruto shows that he might be progressing further than Sasuke theoretically. The significance of this arc was the fact that it hinted that Sasuke was at some point going to the dark side, and we just didn't know when. How was it executed? Very well, until Shippuden. We are introduced more about Orochimaru's base, as well as we find out that the Sound Village isn't really a village, it's a network of laboratories composed of various different hideouts, bases scattered around the ninja world. We are also seeing the Sound 4 and other members of Orochimaru's to show off their abilities. To be completely honest, they're practically the X-Men, or any other Marvel character you can think of. Their powers are fucking... Okay, some significant fights in this arc. Choji against Jirubo. Why? Is because this is the first time we got to see Choji actually be a complete badass for once, since his abilities weren't really taken serious throughout the series as much. So seeing this is a defining moment for his character. And another one is Neji, because it's seen that the character's progression just by attending the mission alone to save Sasuke was probably the best in my opinion. Lastly is the Naruto vs Sasuke arc, which is obvious because this is the best fight in the overall series. I feel that this fight was more intimate than the second version of the fight, which later happened at the end of Shippuden. It did a lot of great things, but the next arc is a staple of the series, and I remember it pretty much, to be honest, as the reason why most of people I know nowadays are huge fans of the series. So anyway, let's get on with the next arc. Lastly, this is obviously the best arc of the series. I remember being in school and everyone was talking about the Rock Lee vs Gaara fight as one of the best fights in the series. Until now, it's still considered one of the best fights in the franchise. The plot of the arc takes place a few months after the Waves arc. An upcoming event called the Chunin Exams calls all villagers to participate in this competition. Winning ninjas become Chunins and go up the ranks. Kakashi thinks Team 7 is ready for this, and he'll think it will improve their teamwork. However, spirals out of control with unknown forces such as Orochimaru appears to use the test for his own purpose. This arc sets up the whole arc of the series, down to Sasuke going to the dark side, Sakura becoming independent, and Naruto becoming a better ninja. In this arc, we're introduced to characters we soon fall in love with. The most memorable moments from this arc has to be in notable events such as, I don't know, the introduction of Orochimaru. As a viewer / reader, I did not see this guy coming. The way he was introduced was like a boogeyman story, with literally the strongest ninjas such as Kakashi Sensei shitting himself at the thought of Orochimaru. His theme song itself is the creepiest song I can remember from the Naruto soundtrack. And hell, when we first meet him, he doesn't even wear his own face, he wears a completely other ninja's face. And that's just fucked up. Another one is the battle between Naruto and Neji. It's because of Kishimoto, this is showing a way of how hard work gets you. Neji was taught to be something of a great prodigy, something that Sasuke would have to strive to be able to be, and someone Rock Lee has never even came close to even defeating. So seeing Naruto not only use his skills, power, and intellect to defeat Neji over a span of 5 months of training, through the beginning of the series shows that Naruto has grown as a character and a fighter. And this is showing the fans that Naruto has the potential to be even greater than Sasuke, Naruto, and Neji, and possibly any other Hokage, which he eventually did. But overall, this arc in general is just the biggest arc in the series. Now, if you're not a big fan of Naruto and you want to get into the series, I suggest get through the Land of Waves arc, since it's still a really good arc, but also can't wait for you to watch the Chunin exam arc, because it's such a big, massive arc, and pretty much this is, in my opinion, where the story actually really starts. And due to this massiveness of the arc, is what I said before, is why the Invasion arc feels like part of it, because it just watching it makes it feels like it's so insignificant compared to what happened previous to it. And that's it, people. That's my 5 arcs list. This is pretty much the 5 main canon arcs of the series, and I hope everyone enjoyed these videos. If you like it, remember to like and share and comment down which arc you think is the best arc. Mine's, let's say, the Chunin exams, and many other fans can agree with that. Some of y'all might like the Naruto and Sasuke arc over any other arc. Some of y'all might think the Land of Waves arc is where the show was at its peak. Some of y'all might actually like the Invasion arc. I guess there's a good amount of you out there. Anyway, I'm tired. I powered through a cold for you guys, so remember to share that out. And that's it. Megasonic out. I'm going to go get some NyQuil.